can't do anything. You got to believe in the impossible. And even if you don't make it all the way there, if you shoot for the stars, you'll land on the moon. But,
You might ricochet off. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, but so many of them, even at that young age, had already believed this lie that, oh, if I'm just, I'll be happy to just get by. I'll
Yeah.
be happy to just be able to have my own apartment. And it's like, no, no, live your biggest dream
Mm.
and go do it.
As you were talking about the dream part, I love that because there's something that happens, and this is my experience, a lot of corporate planning, you know,
Mm,
working with individuals. I was in the life insurance industry, and a lot of that is individuals planning big stuff and
yep,
trying to dream big. And it's what separates people that become big and that don't, are the size of the aspiration.
mm,
And it is interesting, Akeem, there's something that happens in the mind where if you set a limiting dream, right, even if it's a
mm,
decent sized dream, how you get there is very mechanical and very much matter changing matter. You're influencing, you're pushing up a hill when you set a dream that's reasonable, that's even a goal. When you set something so bananas, so crazy, you can't get there from here. You can't get there by matter
uh-uh,
changing matter. You can't get
nope,
here by a plan. You have to completely break your thinking on how it's going to happen. And when you
100%.
when you when you can't get there from a normal process, it has to be something outside of of who you are, and you have to bring in other parts of your thinking and your imagination brings opportunities to you because you are setting
100%.
this in the universe, right? You're telling the universe, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going. The universe is like, oh, okay, we got an order in.
Let's,
Akeem,
yeah,
order up. Akeem's ordered
so
up a what is this? He's ordered up a 16 stack cheeseburger with, double
we
fries
got to
on,
figure something out.
Swiss cheese. They start, the universe goes to work, putting those opportunities in front. I
So
believe it
true.
goes to work, putting opportunities in front of you and things that you would never normally see.
It absolutely it does. And I remember when I finally left corporate America for good, my boss had given me a book called The Alchemist. And for those who
Oh,
don't know,
yeah.
The Alchemist is just about that. And I didn't realize that. It took me a while to even read the book until it knocked me upside the head. I kept seeing it over and over again, and I just was like, I got to read this book. And it talks about how the universe conspires to
Oh,
help
that
you fulfill your
conspires.
dream and to find your treasure. And it's so
Oh,
true because,
beautiful.
if what your goal is, you can reach by just waking up every day, working 10 hours a day and getting there.
Yes. Yeah.
It's hard. But if your goal is going to require a miracle, well, now you're not let me just work. You like, look, I got to look out for something impossible to happen
Yes.
because I don't know exactly how it's going to happen. I just know it's going to happen. And so for me, I end up having all of these types of impossible moments, right? When I
I love
changed
it.
my mindset. It took me a long time because as much as I was able to accomplish working in corporate, it was really just work. Like I didn't, it wasn't these impossible things happening. It was just me like, yeah, let's work.
Yes.
But I found myself completely drained. I was so drained and I was
Yeah.
no longer fulfilled by it because I had already done it. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, what more can I accomplish here other than working even harder? And so when I finally left to do my own thing, whether it was when I first started and I needed an influencer to promote my product Flipstick, and I didn't have the money to pay him, and I end up following as the alchemist would put them omens to get this family who had 2 million followers on YouTube and charged $75,000 a video to give me a video completely for free. Like, it was one of those things right out the gate on this
I
journey
love it.
that I was like, whoa, I never, no amount of work would have had this happen.
No.
Like, this was a miracle that happened. This was unbelievable that the universe brought these people together and gave me the intuition to send the email with the
Yeah.
subject line
Yeah.
and pay attention to know that all these things were start to connect, and then magically we meet in Huntsville, Alabama, at a Starbucks, and it turns out the father used to be a minister like my grandfather and left his
Oh,
job to start this influencer thing that his wife convinced their kids to do, and now they're multimillionaires, and they meet me at Easter time that my mom convinced me to go down to Huntsville, Alabama for Easter, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we're just gonna do it for you for free. It was one of those things where it's like, man, you can't make this stuff up, and you can't force it to happen. It just happens, and you're
yeah.
just along for the ride.
You are just along for the ride. Akeem, let's pull a card out of that. I mean, we could talk forever, but I'm still also wanting to
Let's
pull
get
the
a
card
card.
out because we got a good vibe going and we got a great conversation. Oh, well, this is kind of, I really do love the jar because there are times when, the alchemy is at work.